and welcome back to another episode in this Road to the Zelich video series. We are finally in the month of July, which means that we are just under a month from the Mark Zelich Golf Classic, my biggest tournament of the year. So not too much more time for me to get my game into tip-top shape so that I can perform the best of my ability come the Mark Zelich Golf Classic. So my most recent tournament that I played was a one-day event over at the Broadlands Golf Club in North Prairie, Wisconsin, which is a course I'm pretty familiar with. It's near around the area I grew up, and I did take some lessons there as a young kid, which they weren't great. They were group lessons. They were more of like, hey, we need you to get out of the house during the summer. Here's some lessons to take. So I took them. It didn't really help me improve. Also because I really wasn't ever practicing as a kid, and they were group lessons anyway, so it wasn't. Never mind. The Broadlands, I like the course. It was the first nice course I ever played as a kid. I love the aesthetic of it, has good routing, interesting holes, and yeah, just love the look of the heather and everything. So it was just a weird day in terms of conditions. We got a lot of rain overnight. We've had a lot of rain this entire year. I think we're in some places here in Wisconsin, we're like 5 to 8 inches above normal in terms of rain totals for the year. So definitely not in a drought this year, which we were in last year. So that's kind of nice. The range was closed, so we couldn't hit balls before a round. There was standing water on the range and everything, and yeah, they didn't want people hitting. So it was tough to kind of get warmed up, get ready for the round. Tried to do as much, chipping and putting as possible, but as you can imagine, with the range being closed, everyone was on the practice putting green there, and it's not a large putting green, so yeah, not a whole lot of room. Tough to get a whole lot of, preparation in there. Yeah, it was interesting in that sense. The course itself, conditions-wise, were fine. There were some wet spots on the fairway, but otherwise it was perfectly playable and fine. The rough, on the other hand, was definitely wet and thick. Like if you're in the rough, you're hacking it out basically. It was tough in the rough. You needed to make it a priority to stay in the fairway and just basically take your medicine if you're in the rough. Sand traps, there was definitely a lot of standing water and sand traps, which was fine because we had local rules for it, so it wasn't that big of a deal, and I didn't really ever find myself having to deal with that, thankfully. Ultimately, despite not being able to hit any balls before the round, I played pretty decently. As you can see from the thumbnail of this video, I did win, but I will say that don't really feel like I deserved it. It was more like a win by default. I felt like I did play pretty decently for the most part. I just had 2 really bad blow-up holes, and that ballooned my score. Basically, on each of those 2 holes, I hit 2 tee shots out of bounds. So I was teeing up my 5th shot on both those holes. So it was, yeah, not good. So I ended up shooting a 91 with those 2 blow-up holes, which shouldn't really win a tournament, but apparently nobody else wanted to win. Maybe they also had the same issues I had. Kind of one of those rounds, once again, where just kind of tossing it away. Like, yes, happy I won and everything, but we're just gonna forget about those weird anomaly tee box shots and just kind of focus on the good things I did, because there were a lot of good things. I did hit a number of really good tee shots, hit a number of really good irons, hit some good short game shots. Putting was a little hit or miss. It was just, I think, a lack of concentration on some of them. Yeah, we're just gonna kind of learn from those things, throw away kind of the weirder things that happen, throw away kind of the conditions of the, not being able to warm up, the lack of a normal pre-round routine, and just kind of move on from there, because thankfully we don't have to dwell on those things all that much. I got another tournament this upcoming weekend, a long holiday weekend, Independence Day weekend, 2-day event, which is going to be my last chance playing a 2-day event, which is a similar format to the Mark Zelich Golf Classic. Gonna have some good reps in that sense. I'm excited for that. I'm excited to play because we got that one and then one more tournament, and then it's the Mark Zelich. So we're in the home stretch. We're right there, and I think we're right there in terms of putting it all together. Make sure we're staying focused and dedicated and confident over each shot. And if we do that, I think this is going to be a very, very good month once we look back on it. So yeah, excited for the near future here. We're almost there. We're almost there. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching this episode. We're almost done with this video series. I think it's gonna be the best year I've ever had at the Zelich. I'm really feeling that. So anyhow, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and keep hitting them straight.